Welcome back to the action. Kimi Antonelli just dominated the Miami Grand Prix, securing a massive victory for the Mercedes team. This incredible drive cemented his position at the top, giving him a huge boost in the Formula One Drivers' Championship standings. We dive into all the details of how this young talent took the checkered flag and what it means for his season so far.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the incredible championship implications following Kimi Antonelli's win in Miami. We break down exactly how this victory has tightened the gap over his teammate George Russell, showing just how significant this result is for the Mercedes camp. Get ready for the deep dive into the points battle. Now, we shift focus to the intense race dynamics that surrounded this victory. We examine the dramatic start, the maneuvers with Charles Leclerc, and the crucial moments that define the race for everyone involved. Prepare for the full breakdown of the on-track drama. And finally, we look at the complete results from the 2026 F1 Miami Grand Prix. We have the full race order, from Kimi Antonelli's win to Lando Norris's second place, and every single driver's finishing position. Don't miss a second of this recap, and make sure you stay tuned for our next big motorsport story. Kimi Antonelli has secured his third consecutive victory, claiming the Miami Grand Prix to solidify his lead in the Formula One Drivers' Championship. The 19-year-old Italian prodigy took the win from pole position in a commanding performance at Miami Gardens, Florida. Antonelli navigated a challenging race, initially losing the lead to Charles Leclerc on the opening lap before swiftly regaining control. He then engaged in a battle with Lando Norris, ultimately retaking the front position for good after Norris pitted from the lead around lap 28. This victory marks Antonelli's third career win, building on a strong run that included back-to-back wins in the Chinese and Japanese Grands Prix. The win further propelled the Mercedes team to the top of the manufacturer's standings. Antonelli joins a select group in Formula One history, becoming the third driver ever to achieve his first 3 consecutive wins, joining Damon Hill and Mika Hakkinen. McLaren secured the remaining podium positions, with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri finishing second and third, respectively. The race featured dramatic moments for other contenders. Charles Leclerc experienced a significant spin on the final lap, dropping from 4th to 6th position after George Russell and Max Verstappen overtook him. In a contrasting sequence, Max Verstappen spun 360 degrees in the middle of the track while gridged second, an incident that allowed Leclerc to pass Antonelli from third to first. Verstappen managed a quick recovery, securing his best finish of the season. The event was rescheduled 3 hours earlier to 1 p.m. local time to circumvent forecasted thunderstorms. Kimi Antonelli has extended his dominance, securing his third consecutive Grand Prix victory and solidifying his lead in the World Drivers' Championship. Antonelli took pole position on Sunday and successfully defended his position in Miami, giving him a significant advantage over teammate George Russell. Antonelli entered the weekend 9 points ahead of Russell. Following his Miami win, he now holds a substantial gap, with 100 points separating him from Russell's 74 points. The start of the race proved challenging for Antonelli, who struggled to gain the lead, initially losing it to Charles Leclerc, who started on the second row. Max Verstappen also had a slow start, allowing Leclerc an early advantage before Verstappen made errors in the opening corners. Antonelli attributed his race performance to strong pace and a successful team strategy, highlighting a massive undercut that helped them secure the win despite a difficult start. Despite the early struggles, Antonelli achieved a historic milestone, becoming the first driver to win his first 3 races from pole position without leading the opening lap. During the race, Antonelli engaged in a tactical battle with Leclerc, eventually making the pass for the lead in turn 18, though Leclerc managed to recover on the subsequent lap. Midfield action was eventful, including a crash by Hadjar and a collision between Gasly and Liam Lawson, which caused Gasly's car to rotate. Verstappen pitted under the safety car, while the race resumed, with the McLaren taking the lead on lap 13. In the strategy phase, the anticipated rain and lightning did not materialize, leading most teams to opt for a one-stop strategy, with most drivers pitting between laps 22 and 28. Charles Leclerc ultimately finished behind Piastri on the final lap, while Piastri secured his second podium of the year, marking McLaren's first double podium with Norris in second place. Antonelli faced disciplinary action later in the weekend, receiving a warning from Toto Wolff for track limit violations during the sprint race. In the championship battle, Norris and Piastri made significant gains, closing the gap on the leader. Lewis Hamilton also experienced a challenging pit stop sequence. Kimi Antonelli secured a victory in Miami, significantly strengthening his lead in the World Drivers' Championship. The race featured intense action and several incidents. The start saw a mixed performance, with a slow start for Antonelli from pole position and Max Verstappen also facing challenges from the front row. Early on, Charles Leclerc took the lead, while Verstappen maneuvered to block Lando Norris, resulting in a spin at the second corner. Further drama unfolded when Franco Colapinto overtook Lewis Hamilton into turn 11, leading to a collision with Hamilton's Ferrari, though stewards took no further action. Antonelli later challenged Leclerc for the lead, but Leclerc regained it on the subsequent lap. Lando Norris moved up to second place a lap later. The race was neutralized by a safety car due to two incidents: a wrecked Red Bull driver clipping the inside barrier at turn 14, and Liam Lawson flipping his Alpine in turn 17. During the safety car period, Max Verstappen took a calculated gamble on a pit stop, despite forecasts suggesting potential rain. The race resumed on lap 12, with Russell struggling initially before losing position to Oscar Piastri and being threatened by Hamilton. Leclerc also faced challenges, losing his lead to Norris and Antonelli. Pit stops became frequent around lap 20, with Norris and Antonelli making stops, with Norris rejoining ahead of Antonelli but ultimately being overtaken by the championship leader. As the race progressed, Verstappen, despite an early stop, found himself behind Antonelli and Norris, who benefited from fresher tires. Verstappen managed to pass the Red Bull for the lead briefly, but ultimately dropped behind Leclerc and Piastri with 10 laps remaining, eventually finishing P5. Leclerc battled with Piastri for the final podium spot, but suffered a spin and barrier contact, damaging his car and losing ground to Russell and Verstappen on the final lap. Lando Norris remained close to Antonelli throughout, though gearbox issues plagued Antonelli. Antonelli's win solidifies his championship advantage. The next major event on the calendar is the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, with the main event scheduled for May 24. Kimi Antonelli claimed a dominant victory at the 2026 Miami Grand Prix, securing the win for the Mercedes team and significantly boosting his position in the Formula One Drivers' Championship standings. The race saw intense competition, particularly from McLaren's Lando Norris, but Antonelli managed to hold off the sustained pressure to claim the top step. The race order after 57 laps showed a tight battle for the podium. Kimi Antonelli finished in first place, followed by Lando Norris of McLaren, who finished second with a gap of 3.264 seconds. Oscar Piastri from McLaren secured third place, trailing by 27.092 seconds. Mercedes maintained a strong presence, with George Russell finishing fourth. Max Verstappen of Red Bull secured fifth place, with a margin of 43.949 seconds separating them from the top spot. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc finished sixth, followed by Lewis Hamilton, who placed seventh. The midfield battle was fierce, with Franco Colapinto from Alpine finishing eighth and Carlos Sainz from Williams taking ninth. Further down the order, Alex Albon of Williams finished 10th. The final positions included Ollie Bearman of Haas, Gabriel Bortolito of Audi, Esteban Ocon of Haas, Arvid Lindblad of Racing Bulls, Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin, Sergio Perez of Cadillac, Lance Stroll of Aston Martin, Valtteri Bottas of Cadillac, and the DNF finishes for Nico Hülkenberg of Audi, Liam Lawson of Racing Bulls, and Pierre Gasly of Alpine, along with Hadjar of Red Bull.